Hey guys, it's Childish and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, you will see that we have once again hit a new milestone for the Soul Strike account, which is the 7,000 Conquer rank. So we're going to be talking about some of the changes that I made leading up to this point and kind of give you guys an update when it comes to our progression. Of course, that being said though, you all know what we got to do. We got to give you guys a shout out for watching this video. If you want to see more content down the road, you all know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, hit the notification bell so you guys know when the next video drops. So funny enough, we made a recent video talking about the progress to the 7,000 rank. However, we kind of hit a standstill. We made a couple adjustments, switched out some units, made some improvements on our jewelry, and even then we were still just having a little bit of struggle trying to get things through. But the cool thing about it is that I was able to connect with a lot of you guys through the emails, through the discords and whatnot here, and you guys provided just a wide variety of information, guidance to help me out. And without question, we made a couple of adjustments, and we'd be able to really progress the account. As you guys can see, we're really hitting a milestone here, just basically pushing without really too much struggle. So I'm curious to see how far we're going to go through this. So first thing that I want to talk about is probably I want to say the attributes here, or not the attributes. I'll probably go with Constellation. So Constellation is just one of those things for me that I've just kind of set on the wayside, because as much as I want to go ahead and change some of these for the better, the reality of the situation is that even though you guys see quite a few resources here when it comes to the Stardust, I've gotten to the point where when I've tried to make some adjustments to get them within the ranges that people recommend, it's been a struggle. I mean, it's very tedious, very time consuming, and sometimes I don't make the adjustments that I need to be. Like even just recent, I made the adjustment on the final damage. Final damage was at 58%. Efficacy boost was at like 30%, and after trying numerous times utilizing a ton of resources, literally the best I can do was get about 150% between both of them, which I think is technically recommended. And then of course I was fortunate enough to get a little bit of mitigation by means of defense and HP here. So I'm just at that point right now where I'm just going to kind of hold this for now. And then, like I said, down the road when I want to make a little bit more of adjustment and try to improve it, I'm going to go with the flow on that one. Now, in addition to that, some of the upgrades that we made was through the Awakening. The Awakening has climbed up a little bit to where we're now at the 18,800 damage here. And one of the things that I want to point out, especially for some of the new and up-and-coming players out there, I think this is one of the things that a lot of people struggle with coming up in the game. When you get into this game and you get a lot of resources, one of the things that a lot of people in the Discord community, I know Epic Butters really preached on this, is that you need to conserve your resources when it comes to this game and save them for when you actually need them. One of the things that people constantly forget about is the value that can be had through the content, the dungeons and whatnot, and the value of the keys that they can provide, especially for the value they can provide in the later stages. You can get away with a lot less early on, but once you get up into the 3,000, 5,000 plus range, that's where a lot of those reserve resources are going to be useful for you, and you're going to be able to take advantage of it. One of the things that I did to improve my overall stats here was to take some of the keys that I've collected, the legendary keys or whatnot, in order for me to go through the Orcish punching dungeon. Okay, and what that provides is going to be this resource here, the Awakening Potion, that of course allows us to constantly level these up, do those Trial of Nightmares, and get that final damage improve here. Again, guys, this is one of the main stats that we're always looking for, and as you can see, every single time we max out this particular Awakening table, we get quite a bit of a boost on our final damage. So again, if you guys are one of those people out there that just really haven't been working on this or haven't been focused on this, give it a little love, regardless of which ones you want to focus on here. They're obviously all going to be important, because at the end of the day, you have to max them all out in order to get yourself the improvement on the Awakening Cube. Okay. Now, in the upgrade category, obviously one of the big milestones that we hit when it comes to this is going to be the training side of things. Again, if you guys didn't have a chance to check out some of the videos that have been published by other content creators, once you get to that 7,000 rank mark, the last 4 here are going to be open for you to go ahead and make some adjustments here. So as you can imagine, as close as I was to that mark, I probably saved something in the vicinity of like 20 to 30 point 80D. Like I had a lot here, and all these were like sitting at like A or B. So I was able to upgrade them, across the board a little bit, and I'm constantly improving them as I get some resources here. Now, I don't want to say I'm working on something more so than another. I feel like, a lot of people have been talking about the final damage, skill damage aspect, because this is kind of that breaking point where you choose between, a skill damage line or, making improvements here. And it seems like this is going to be the way to go moving forward, sacrificing some of those skill damage lines because you get the value out of here. Again, at the end of the day, I've just kind of been leveling up everything slowly and steadily, but I do realize that, once you hit the 7,000 mark, you're going to see a very, very nice improvement in your overall clearing, which is probably why I'm still able to push, in this 7,000 rank. Funny enough, look at that. Right as I say I'm ready to push, of course I hit this like little mark here, and now I'm kind of working it. But those were some of the big improvements that I made when it comes to the count. Ability still been the same, the enchantment still been the same. Obviously we have a crazy amount of resources here that I'm looking to do. But as you guys know, when it comes to locking in, some of the things you want, now we have again the concept of the skill damage and potentially looking to see, if I can switch it out or whatnot. So what I've been thinking about doing is taking some of the lines that I have here that I haven't been working on too much. Again, you're probably like, what is this? What is going on with this? This is trash. Well, what I'm doing right now is literally, taking it through and just, playing it like, what's it called? Just leveling it up, trying for the double S or triple S or whatnot, and seeing what kind of what we can get, because we still need an ability line for our AFK or online farming. I still would like to work on a line for Earth Boost. We got a lot of things that we got to do here. So yeah, we're just gonna put it in, and that's the good thing about this is that when you're focusing on one specific line, you use we're using more. When you're using focus on one specific ability thing and you got only one thing locked in, the two thing locks in, the amount of resources that you use versus what you would use when you have 5 out of the 6 locked is going to be pretty darn different, 160 versus the 10 here. So this is kind of a cool point for me. Obviously, I am a fire main, but you guys know I want to play Earth, and you guys know that I'm losing a lot of value because I don't have, an ability line that's going to capitalize on AFK farming and on online farming. So that's one of the things that we're working on, and that's one of the things we've been trying to improve here. Outside of that, just the basic change was, getting that windbound bottle in there for the additional move speed. Between that and, of course, the food that we've been utilizing, we switched from the final damage food to the move speed food. And again, this is maxed out, level 5, 100% of 7 attack and 40% basically move speed. So we've been working, our butt up trying to get those small improvements, and it's been doing pretty good. I think now we have kind of hit the mark that we have hit the 10,000 movement speed. Again, if you guys remember me from the previous video, we were sitting at the cusp. We were like 4,000, 5,000 speed. We made a couple of adjustments, and now we've had quite a bit of boosts here. I think we talked about in the previous video some of the, newer pieces that we've got and new jewels that we're getting. Luckily for me, I've been fortunate enough to get a couple of adjustments made. I think actually in the previous video, I already showcased the face, which of course is Coma being one of the stronger ones out there. We're still working on getting the right line, when we get the resource to do it. But, when it comes to the face having the double move speed is obviously really strong. We need a whole lot more move speed, I'm not going to lie. But, we're really happy with that. And then, down the road, we're going to work on obviously getting a mythical jewel here and potentially expanding this because we want to have, double jewel spots here so we can get more synergies in there, more enchantments, so on and so forth. Probably the latest and greatest update that we've made on the account is going to be this one here, Blazing Shadow, my newest helm. This one here had that MP line that I was looking for when it comes to my face. It has the move speed, and when we made this one, we had a really bad line here, but we were fortunate enough to get the all element respite. Now I know this is not, the main thing that I need to focus on. I'm still working on my skill cooldown and trying to improve that, but again, in comparison to my previous helm, it was definitely quite the improvement here. So, and the good thing about this was this helm had 2 slots versus 1 slot, so I was able to get 2 jewels in there in my sockets. So I basically put back the Wide Sword Ring enchantment, but I added the Airwalker movement speed. So this is one of the things that we constantly forget about sometimes is that taking those random gear that do have auras or relic enchants or whatever enchants that we need, and saving it. I actually have a handful of these airwalkers, actually some with better percentages, but my concern is that I knew that I was going to improve from a legendary to mythical jewel, so I just wanted to use this for now so that when I get that mythical jewel I can put the better one on and take full advantage of it here. So but yeah, outside of that, nothing else has pretty much changed. We're still sitting here. We've already mentioned that we did finally get the windbound and bottle improvement, so that we can have the immunity towards slow debuffs. But outside of that, you guys saw this in a previous video. We got the Stigma Light. We got the new Speed of Light improvement here for the crit damage based on the move speed. So we've been doing good on that. But I think the biggest things that really have made the nice little jump is, not just the jewels that we've improved, the gear that we improved when it comes to the move speed, making the adjustments to the food and whatnot, but we've also made a little bit of change on our ally setup. So if you guys remember in the previous video, one of the biggest units that have been talked about for quite some time is going to be Ran. And Ran is one of the units out there that provides that critical damage, that final damage when you get that awakening in. And, I've switched out a lot of units, trying them here and there, whatnot. And I honestly was genuinely surprised at the value that I obtained by taking out Ran and plugging in another fire unit. I've been a big fan of Vivette for quite some time, but I didn't really see all too much of a change when I was utilizing her. But now, of course, between leveling her up, finally getting a treasure on her, and getting a couple of improvements on our other units and whatnot, or just overall account, I do see the value in her. Obviously, the 3,000 boost, the damage received and whatnot here is really, really strong. So I'm very happy with those adjustments here. Now, funny enough, I know that probably a lot of people use some different setups here, but I've been utilizing Monk U in the spot versus like a Vanessa, and Monk U for me still has been really good. I think there's, you can make an argument for Vanessa and whatnot in this one, but I do like I said, I still love her kit when it comes to everything that she provides here. Good damage, good damage mitigation with the attack break, all element res, and of course the attack buff here. Now I will say this because I recently caught up with Epic Butter's recent video that he put out a couple weeks ago. He made an amazing video with regards to the 5,000 plus guide and whatnot, and he was talking about a recent change that he was messing around with, which was Charlotte, and utilizing Charlotte for her attack buff. You guys are like, attack buff? Oh, well, if you guys didn't see, when you get that enchantment, you get yourself a buff here for attacker friendly units by 150% for 10 seconds. So yeah, we literally just got this, so we're probably going to make the adjustment to switch it through and kind of compare and contrast. But like I said, Monkey's been doing good for me right now, so I've been just kind of utilizing her, leveling her up, because remember guys, she's also it's also Earth, and she's also part of the future Earth team that I'm trying to work on as well. But overall, really, really happy with the progression as of late. I do believe that this recent update has made a couple of changes so that the allies and whatnot are going to be doing a lot of damage here. I do have some exciting news when we get ourselves this level, but as you can imagine, as a free-to-play player, what am I talking about here? As a baby spender here, I got some work to do. I didn't want to swipe to get resources here, so kind of what we were talking about earlier. Looking to go back in here now, go back to my ability line and try to work on a line that I can use for AFK farming, because that's one of the things that I've constantly just kind of discarded or just didn't use. And I realized that even a lot of people that came after me are still making way more progress than me, because they're actively taking advantage of the time that they are with farming and getting the resources that they need. It's without question the best way to go about getting your equipment or getting your gear and everything upgraded. So I'm gonna keep on working on that, and hopefully the next time we make a video, we'll be a little bit higher. We'll be able to get some of these newer things upgraded. So yeah, guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate your support as always. Of course, we will continue to provide some updates here on a weekly basis. Stay tuned. Keep it locked here on the ChildishPlays YouTube channel, ChildishPlays YouTube channel, and we'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care.